So whatever was in a very small scale before, now it has just magnified into a very large scale production. Now what is this personnel management? It is nothing but the HRM. So we say that personnel and HRM are one and the same. In the production management, we exclusively deal with the production process, whereas in operation management, in addition to production management, it includes the administrative aspect also. Hello everyone, I'm Purnima, faculty in the Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. I welcome you all to this session. In this session, we will be having a discussion on the subject Production and Operations Management, which has been prescribed by the Mysuru University for the 5th SEM B.Ba students. Now, this is an introduction session on Production and Operations Management. Now, let us see what it holds for us. Now, what is the meaning of the word production management? So, production management refers to the application of management principles to the production function in a factory. So, we all know what is management. Management is nothing but planning, organizing, staffing, coordinating and controlling. Now, in this production management, we will be applying the principles of management for production purposes in a factory. So, whenever you are having a production function in the factory, so what are the management principles involved? All this we will be learning in this subject here. So, in other words, production management involves application of planning, organizing, directing and controlling the production process. Now, before you start the production process, you have to plan for it, you have to organize it, you have to control it and you have to direct it. Otherwise, the production process will not go well. Then, production management also deals with decision making regarding the quality, quantity, cost, etc. of production. So, in production management, we will be thinking about the quality of the product we are producing, quantity of the product produced, and also the cost of the product. So, it applies management principles to production. Production management is a part of business management. It is also called as production function. It is being slowly replaced by operations management. So, for a business to run, we need the 4 M's of business. Now, what are the 4 M's of business? Men, money, materials, machines. So, they are the 4 M's of business. So, without these 4 M's of business, it will not be possible for us to run a business. So, in addition to this, we need the 5th M of business, that is management. So, along with the 4 M's, so we have the 5th M, that is management. So, only with the help of management, we will be able to run the business. And for production, for any activity for that matter in a business, we need management. And especially so in case of production management. Now, so the definition of production management. It is observed that one cannot demarcate the beginning and end points of production management in an establishment. The reason is that it is interrelated with many other functional areas of business, that is marketing, finance, industrial relation policies, etc. Now, why do we say that production management is interrelated with other fields? So, because it is related to marketing. So, whatever production you are doing in your factory, that has to be marketed. So, what is the amount of production you are having? So, those goods have to be marketed. So, production function is related to marketing function. Then, finance. See, until and unless we have the proper finance to do production, we will not be able to earn the revenue. So, it is interrelated to finance and also industrial relations. So, why industrial relations? Because mainly most of the workers who work for the factory, they will be involved in the production field itself. And as such, the industrial relations becomes very, very important. So there should be harmony between the labor and the management. Only then we can have a smooth process of production, for which we need good industrial relations. So that is why we say that the production function of management is interrelated with various other departments. So that is why it is interrelated to industrial relation policies, etc. Alternatively, it is not independent of marketing, finance and personnel management, due to which it is very difficult to formulate some single appropriate definition of production management. So, because production management is involved with almost all the various departments of the organization, we cannot have a single definition of production management. So, it is the process of effective planning and regulating the operations of that section of an enterprise which is responsible for actual transformation of materials into finished products. So, whatever the finished products we are manufacturing, so it is all because of the production function. So, the production function mainly involves the conversion of raw materials into finished products. So, whatever the raw materials which are available, so you make use of the raw materials and give it a form utility so that it can be utilized. For example, we get rubber from the rubber tree. So that rubber is, as we cannot make use of the rubber as it is, but then we make it undergo a process and then we convert it into tires and various other forms so that it can be used by us. So this, in other words, we are giving form utility to all the raw materials whatever is available. The same way, when we grow cotton, the cotton cannot be worn as it is. So it has to undergo a process and then it can be converted into textiles or whatever cloth we need. So that is why we say that production is the function of conversion of raw materials into finished products. Production management deals with decision making related to production process. So what are the various decisions you will take relating to the production process? So that involves production management, so that the resulting goods and services are produced in accordance with the quantitative specification and demand schedule with minimum cost. Now, what is the amount of goods you have to produce and what is the cost at which you have to produce? All this have to be planned beforehand. So whenever we are having a production in the plant, so everything has to be planned. And how do we plan the production? It will be based on the goals of the organization. So if the organization has a goal of selling so many units per year, so if they have a plan of selling 1 lakh units per year, then it is essential that the production plant has to produce 1 lakh units. If it produces 1 lakh units, then it will be easy to sell the 1 lakh units. But if they have a project of selling 1 lakh units and if the plant is not able to produce 1 lakh unit, then it will be difficult for the organization to just achieve its goals. Hence, it is essential for the organization to ensure that whatever the achievements, whatever the goals they have planned for, it will be implemented in the production process. Then, the definition discussed above clearly shows that the concept of production management is related mainly to the organizations engaged in the production of goods and services. So, we have discussed so many definitions of production management. We say that it is conversion of raw material into finished goods. We also say that it is an interrelated management function. We also say that there are so many things involved in production management. So all these definitions, they actually say that it is mainly an organizational function which deals with production of goods and services. Earlier, these organizations were mostly in the form of one-man shops having insignificant problems of managing the production. So these production shops, were usually in a very small scale. So whatever was in a very small scale before, now it has just magnified into a very large scale production. But with the development and expansion of production organizations in the shape of factories, more complicated problems like location and layout, inventory control, quality control, routing and scheduling of the production process, etc., came into existence, which required more detailed analysis and study of the whole phenomenon. Now, before, what was production, what was being done, it was done on a very small scale. But of late, because of the latest technology and because of the various available financial resources, now production is being done on a very large scale. And when production is being done on a very large scale, so we have the emergence of the factories. So factories have come into existence, and along with them we have the problems like location. So where do we actually locate the factory? Whether it should be near the place of consumption or whether it should be near the place of the raw materials. And then what will be the layout of the factory? How do you just manage the layout of the factory? Then inventory control. So what is the stock of raw materials you need to maintain in the organization? And what is the stock of finished goods you need? All this come under inventory control. Then quality control. So until and unless you maintain the quality of the products you are manufacturing, you will not have regular sales. So in order to see that you have a regular demand for your products, it is essential for you to see that you have quality control. Then routing and scheduling of the production process. Now, then this routing and scheduling of the production process, we have to ensure what is the route the raw materials will take and what is the schedule for each batch of production. So all this has to be planned, and it came into existence, which requires detailed analysis and study of the whole phenomenon. So in order to think about all this, we need to have a detailed analysis and study of the entire production process. So for the production process to take place, we need raw materials. So raw materials have to be purchased by the purchase department. And for the purchase department to purchase the raw materials, we need the sanction from the finance department. So for the finance department to finance, we need the permission from the accounts department. So we can see that all these are interrelated. Now, once the finished goods are produced, then we have to intimate the marketing department so that they give proper advertisement for the sale of the product. So we can see that the production management is a complex process which involves lot of other departments, right from the HRM department up to the advertisement department. So all the departments will be involved in the production process. So this resulted in the development of production management in the area of factory management. So we know what is factory management. Now we have evolved into a new subject called production management. In the beginning, the main function of production management was to control labor costs, which at that time constituted the major proportion of costs associated with the production. So in the beginning, when the production started on a large scale, the main aim of management was to curtail the labor cost. So why to curtail the labor cost? They thought that whatever the labor charges they were producing, they were paying to the laborers, it was a liability. It was a major expenditure to the company. And as such, they wanted to save on the labor cost by including those machines which could run without the help of much labor. But with the development of factory system towards mechanization and automation, the indirect labor costs increased tremendously in comparison to the direct labor cost. Example, designing and packing of the products production and inventory control, plant layout and location, transportation of raw materials and finished products, etc. So, what did the management do? In order to save the labor cost, they went in for massive mechanization. So, what is mechanization? So, you include more machines in the production process so that you can eliminate all the labor. So, if you don't have much of labor working in your organization, you need not bother about all the labor laws, etc. So, this was the main idea. But then what happened was, because of automation, etc., the indirect labor cost increased. So whatever they thought of reducing the labor cost, this increased because of indirect labor cost and in comparison to the direct labor cost. So the direct labor cost was at a certain level, but because of mechanization and automation, the indirect labor cost increased tremendously. So why it increased more? Because of the designing and packing of the products. So they were giving more importance for the designing and packaging of the products, production and inventory control. So what is the production control? What is inventory control? That they had to look after. Plant layout and location. So what is the plant layout you need and where is the location of the plant? Transportation of raw materials and finished goods. So all these expenses increased tremendously. The planning and control of all these required more expertise and special techniques. So, since you are involving so many things in production, you have to have experts in that field and they had to decide about what is the designing and packing of the products, production and inventory control, plant layout and location, and it required more expertise and special techniques. So, with the help of special techniques, we will be able to understand what is the level at which you have to have the stock, you have to reorder the stock, what is the stock level you have to maintain in the organization, etc. So all this requires some special techniques. Next, the objective of production management. So what is the main objective of production management? The main objective of production management is to produce goods of the right quality, right quantity, at the right time and at the minimum cost. So, the main objective of production is to ensure that whatever goods are produced in the factory, it is of the right quality. So, you have standardized features. So, standard quality of the product, standard quantity what is to be produced and also the cost at which it has to be produced. So all the standards will be set by the company and as such it will be the duty of the production department to see that they meet the standards. So what are the standards? It is the right quality, right quantity, right time and minimum cost. It also tries to improve the efficiency. So, what is the efficiency? Efficiency means you are doing the task within the given time and within the minimum cost and it will be as per the specifications. That is what we call as efficiency. And effectively, the organization can face competition effectively. So, production management ensures full or optimum utilization of the available production capacity. So, whatever is the production capacity of the organization, it has to be attained. So, if the production capacity is not utilized to the maximum, then there will be a loss to the company. So, in order to see that you have economies of large scale production, we have to ensure that the production capacity runs in the full. So, whatever is the plant capacity, whatever is the production capacity of the plant to just produce the goods, it has to run to the maximum capacity only then the company can say that it can have the economies of large scale production. So we should ensure that the production management should ensure that there is optimum utilization of the available production resources. Next, let us look into what is the scope of production management. So, the production concerns with the conversion of inputs into outputs using physical resources so as to provide the desired utilities to the customer while meeting the other organizational objectives of effectiveness, efficiency, and adaptability. So, what is the scope of production management? It is concerned with conversion of inputs into outputs. So, whatever raw materials you are putting into the machinery, it will be converted into the output using the physical resources. So, you are making use of physical resources. It is not only the raw materials, you are making use of various other resources. It may be the financial resource, human resource, time resource, etc. So, you are producing the desired utilities to the customer while meeting other organizational objectives. So, what are the organizational objectives? You have to produce effectively and efficiently and adaptability. So, you have to adapt yourself to the plans which are already made by the top level management. So, whatever plans they are having for the organization, you have to ensure that they are implemented at the various levels of organization. Whether it is the middle level or the lowest level of management, we have to ensure that the plans are as per the decisions of the top level management. It distinguishes itself from other functions such as personnel, marketing, finance, etc. by its primary concern for conversion by using physical resources. Though we say that production management involves personnel management. Now, what is this personnel management? It is nothing but the HRM. So, we say that personnel and HRM are one and the same. Why? Because they all deal with the personnel in the organization. Then it also is involved with marketing. Why marketing? Because until and unless you do not have goods to sell, you will not be able to market them. So, marketing is interrelated with the production function. And next, the finance. So, whatever the investment the company has made, it will be in the production process, and how fast you can just convert the raw material into the finished product, and once it is sold in the market only, you will be able to get back the revenue. So, whatever the money you have invested, it will come back to you in the form of sales only. So, whenever there is a sales of the products you are producing, you will be getting back your money. So, whatever is the return on your investment. So, in this, we should understand that production management, mainly it concerns itself with the conversion of raw materials into finished products, though it is involved in various other activities, that is irrelevant, but we give more scope or we give more importance or emphasis for the conversion of physical resources into finished products. Next, let us understand the scope of production management. Following are the activities which are listed under production and operations management functions. So, we can see here, first one is the location of facilities. Now, what do we mean by location of facilities? So, where do you locate the plant? So, where should it be located? Whether it is near the place of where getting the raw materials or whether it is near the place of consumption. So, that becomes the most important question here, the location of the facilities. Then, second important scope of production management is plant layout and material handling. What is this plant layout? Plant layout means how you are planning the plant. Suppose you have a factory, then So where do we place your machines? So that is important. So machine 1, machine 2, machine 3, machine 4, machine 5, machine 6. So where various machines, where you will be placing the machines, from where the raw materials are coming, from where the output will go, and where the worker has to stand. So all this will be decided in the plant layout. And material handling. So material handling means it becomes important to see that the raw materials are handled properly. So who is handling the raw materials? So that becomes important, and how he is handling the raw material. So everything has to be decided in production management. Then we have the product design. Now what is this product design? What is the design of the product you are manufacturing? Then we have to think about the process design. So what is the process which the raw material is undergoing? Then next will be production and planning control. So how do you plan for the production? How you control the production? The next is the quality control, or it is popularly called as the QC. Now what is this QC? Quality control. So this is the most important aspect of the goods you are producing, because until and unless you maintain the quality of the product, you cannot ensure that there will be a ready demand for your products. So if the products are doing very fine, if there is lot of demand for the product, it means that the customers have accepted the quality of the product. So if the quality of the product deteriorates, then the company will have the fear of losing the customers, and it is essential for the company to have this QC or the quality control to ensure that there is always a demand for the product. Then next we have the materials management. What is this materials management? It may be the management of raw materials, or it may be the management of finished goods. All of these become very, very important. So how do you handle the raw materials? When do you order the raw materials? What is the stock of raw materials you need? So everything has to be decided in advance. So until and unless you know exactly how you will be managing the raw materials, you cannot ensure that there is regular production in the organization. So raw materials, and what is the stock of finished goods you need? So how can you ensure that there is a regular supply of goods in the market? So that you have to think of. Then maintenance management. So how do you just try to maintain the entire production system? So what are the ways in which you ensure that there is continuous production in the organization and there is a continuous supply of goods in the market? So all this becomes very, very essential, that can be ensured with the help of maintenance management. Okay. So after talking about all this, let us actually see what is the meaning or the definition of the word production management. So production management is a part of operations management. So we say that production and operation management, but when we are defining production management, we say that it is a part of operation management. However, when you define production and operation management, you can see that they are two very different concepts indicating two different purposes. So when you think about production and operation, they are very, very different. So why do we take it as different? Because production management deals with factors associated with the production of goods and services. So when we talk about production management, it deals with the production of goods and services and all those factors associated with the production of goods and services. On the other hand, operation management comprises managing production as well as administration of the business. So when we speak about production management, it is exclusively devoted to only the production process. But when we speak about operation management, it includes administration of the business. So how you are running the business. So in addition to production management, we have the management of various other departments, and all this can be included in the operations management. It ensures a smooth production and delivery system of products at minimum cost without compromising on quality. So, with the help of operations management, we can ensure that there is a smooth production process which goes on, and there is a system of delivery of the products at minimum cost with the right quality. So that becomes important. Then, next, let us understand what is the scope of operation management. The scope of operation is a significant point of difference between production and operation management. So as I told earlier, in the production management, we exclusively deal with the production process, whereas in operation management, in addition to production management, it includes the administrative aspect also. So that is why we say that operation management is inclusive of production management. So production management operational scope is limited to production. With its help, a production manager creates a compelling production strategy in an attempt to maximize a company's potential. So it will be the duty of the production manager to ensure that there is proper production going on in the organization, so which is meeting with the company's production strategy. Contrarily, the scope for operation management is much broader as it deals with every aspect of the company. So in operation management, it deals with all the aspects of the company, whereas production deals with only the production aspect. An operations manager is responsible for formulating a strategy that will ensure proper use of every company resource. See, in production management, we are dealing with the resources involved in production only, whereas in operation management, it deals with the making use of almost all the resources of the company. Moreover, he or she has to look after non-production areas like product design, human resources, inventory logistics, waste management, etc. Now, in operation management, we will be involved in various other areas like product design. Now, product design, who will have to give the product design? It will be given by the research and development department. They have to find out the design for the product, and then they'll hand it over to the production department where it will be implemented. And this can be done with the help of the R&D department. Then we have the human resource. So for the human resources, so each and every aspect of the department of the company has to have proper human resources, without which it cannot function. Then we have the inventory. So what is the stock of raw materials? Stock of finished goods unit. Then logistics. Now what is this logistics? So you have to decide about the transportation of the raw materials from the place of production to the plant, and also the transport of the finished goods from the plant to the place of consumption. So that comes under logistics. And waste management. So wherever there is production, there is bound to be some waste of the raw materials. So all the waste, whatever arises from these factories, they have to be just released somewhere or the other. So whether it is the liquid form of waste or whether it is the smoke coming out from the factories, they will be causing environmental pollution. So how do you manage the waste? How do you release the smoke into the air so that the harmful chemicals are first treated and then you are releasing the smoke? And also whether it is any water which is coming out of the factories, so all the waste water, they have to be treated. We have to see that whatever the toxin elements which are there in the water, they have to be first separated and then the water is released into the environment. So this involves waste management. So nowadays we see that there is a pollution control board which ensures that every factory, whatever production it is involved in, it releases minimum waste to the environment. So they have to ensure that there is a proper waste management system in the factory, and this will be looked after by the operations management. Then next is the objective. So in the objectives of production and operation management, they are crucial to their difference. It aims to provide the best quality product at minimum cost and time, whereas it ensures the best use of company resources. Now, production management ensures that you give the good quality products at the right cost at the right time, whereas operation management, it ensures the best use of the company resources. So with this, we come to the end of this session. Hope you have all followed it. Thank you.